Alright guys, recapping another one of these 90s NBA boxes that I've been opening. This is 94-95 Skybox Series 2. So let's get right into it. I'll show some of the base first. And one of the things I noticed about the base on these was there weren't a lot of really big names. I'm guessing since it was Series 2, maybe the bigger names were in Series 1. And there were no Michael Jordan in this set because this is when he was out of the league playing baseball. He came back late in 94-95, so he only got into a few products that year. But this guy, Ron Harper, was the guy that went to Chicago to, I guess, kind of replace Michael Jordan, even though you can't really replace Michael Jordan. But he became the two guard when Jordan left. And then when Jordan came back, they actually played really well together. He was on all three of the second three-peat championship teams. So here are some other Bulls I separated for the 90s Bulls binder. Will Perdue, he was part of the first three-peat. But I think his biggest contribution to the Bulls was getting traded for Dennis Rodman. There's a nice Steve Kerr. Decent looking base on these, nothing special, but pretty cool. Here's some 90s Bulls, but this is later on when they were playing with other teams. Bill Cartwright with Seattle. Horace Grant with Orlando, had some really good seasons with Orlando. And I didn't even get one New York Knicks card in the base on these, which I thought was kind of weird. But I did get a New Jersey Net, Jason Williams. Had a decent career, but ran into some trouble after his career. Steve Smith, aka Smitty from the city. Pretty good shooting guard. Danny Manning. So again, not a lot of huge names here, but some pretty good players. Chris Webber, he could have been considered a superstar, especially with Sacramento. There he is with the Bullets. Here's a guy he was traded to the Bullets for, Tom Gugliotta. That was the Warriors Bullets trade. And there you go, you always got to get a Dale Ellis when you open 90s NBA packs. And some of these are kind of weird. If you're an old school NBA fan, this will be kind of weird seeing Robert Parrish in a Charlotte Hornets uniform. Obviously, more known for being a Celtic. And here is a Celtic, but not the guy you'd expect to see with the Celtics, Dominique Wilkins. How about a Moses Malone with the Spurs? Although he played with a bunch of different teams. I know he was in the NBA a really long time. Here's some more 90s Spurs. Avery Johnson, Sean Elliott. They were both on the 99 team that beat the Knicks in the finals. I'll show a few more base. Mark Jackson. Cedric Ceballos, kind of a weird face there. Just wanted to show this one. Michael Cage with that old Cavs uniform. Those are the Cavs I remember there. And good old Pooh Richardson. I think his name was Jerome Richardson. Not sure why they nicknamed him Pooh. And how about this guy here, Jay Humphries. Another one for the weird face stack. But enough of that. Let's be done with the base. Let's move on to some of the other stuff. So here are some of these subset cards. They had like 4 different versions of these. These are the shots. They got some pretty cool shots on the back of those. These are swats. So those are like the shot blockers. You got Ewing rejecting somebody there. Then you got slams. Scottie Pippen. And then you got the pilots. Charlie Ward, that was his rookie year. Let's show some more of these pilots. Got Latrell Sprewell. Again, the backs on some of these are pretty cool. Gary Payton. Jason Kidd, that was his rookie year. Got KJ, Kevin Johnson. Kenny Anderson, he was a really good point guard. Kind of underappreciated. Mark Price with that old Cavs uniform again. Here's some more of the SWATs. Got the Dikembe Mutombo. He was definitely a great shot blocker. There he is taking it to Olajuwon. Eric Montross, who I think was a decent college player, but really didn't do anything in the NBA. You got Parrish with the Hornets again. There you go, Big Marv, Hakeem. And yet again, I always seem to pull Hakeem doubles. It was always like that back in the day too, and one of my friends was a big Olajuwon fan, so I was always pulling a bunch of Olajuwon cards and trading them to him. You got David Robinson. Another old San Antonio Spur, Dennis Rodman. Again, cool shot in the back there. Battling in the paint with Shaq. You got Robinson right there. Christian Laettner, that's a pretty cool shot there. Not much on the back. You got Sean Bradley, who was 7'6", wore number 76, and played for the 76ers, among other teams. But yeah, if you're 7'6", you better be a good shot blocker. This guy was 7'7", George Mirasan. But I remember he could barely get up and down the court. I remember seeing him play. He was always like struggling to run up and down the court. He was just so big, had like really bad knees. Probably most remembered for a movie he did with Billy Crystal. Here are some more of the slams. Got the mailman Karl Malone delivering right there. He was always wearing like the really baggy jerseys and shorts. Got Larry Johnson, Grandmama. Seemed like everybody had nicknames back then. You got the Rain Man, Shawn Kemp. You got Walt Williams, who they called the Wizard for some reason. Never figured that one out. You got Clyde the Glide. Sir Charles Barkley. And here's just Vin Baker. He didn't have a nickname. Sorry, Vin. Here's the human highlight film. Dominique Wilkins. DC, Derek Coleman. One of the simplest nicknames you're going to find. Here's Jamal Mashburn, who I remember they called Monster Mash for a few years, but that name didn't really stick. He wasn't much of a monster at all. He was actually kind of a nice guy, and his style of play wasn't really fitting to that nickname either. And here are some more of the shots. John Stockton. I don't think he had a nickname. I know it's taking kind of long, but kind of want to show the front and back of some of these. Reggie Miller. Joe Dumars. B.J. Armstrong, I think that was his final year with Chicago. Tony Kukoc, he was just getting started with Chicago. And Danny Manning. Good form right there with the follow through. That's how they teach you to release the shot. And so a few more things to show. Again, I know there's going to be a bit of a longer video, but wanted to show a decent amount of this stuff. So here are some of the rookies I got. Eddie Jones, really solid guard for a while. Got sent out of LA when they drafted Kobe. I think he might have played 1 year with Kobe. Here's Anthony Miller. I remember they called Pig Miller. So this was like a decent rookie class. Not spectacular, but they had a lot of decent players like this. 2 out of the Fat 5 from Michigan. Juwan Howard, Jalen Rose. I wonder if that's why they wore number 5. I know Chris Webber was also part of the Fab 5, but he didn't wear number 5. But I'm guessing that's why those 2 guys did. Here's a Glenn Big Dog Robinson. He was a number 1 overall pick that year. Had a pretty good career, good scorer, but I don't think he was worth the #1 overall pick. One of these guys should have been #1 overall. Grant Hill and Jason Kidd, co-rookies of the year that season, and two of my favorite all-time NBA players. And last but not least, let's get to some inserts. They went with foil on all of the insert sets from this product. Got a bunch of these. Slammin' Universe, Steve Smith. Got Jalen Rose. Dominique. Got Mutombo. Reggie Miller. Here's a look at the back of those. Not much on the back. Got Mashburn. So here's another insert set, but again, they went with foil on it. SkyTech Force. Nice Charles Oakley. Got Jason Kidd out of those. John Stockton. Kevin Johnson. Got Barkley. Got Charlie Ward, rookie insert. Kind of an interesting shot they chose for the front of that. That's a cool one there. Penny Hardaway. A lot of us who watched the NBA those years loved Penny Hardaway. And yet again, here we go, Big Marv. Got one Hakeem and got two Hakeem. So for some reason, always getting doubles on the Hakeems. David Robinson. B.J. Armstrong. So got a ton from this insert set. One more here. Really like the way this one looks. I guess it's just the way the colors look on that one. Gary Payton. Pretty cool shot of him there too. So these last two inserts here, I only got one apiece, which is a shame because I like both of these. So got the draft picks. Unfortunately, got Tony Dumas. Nothing against Tony Dumas, but definitely would have preferred a Jason Kidd or Grant Hill or somebody like that. And last one, really like this one. Revolution of Chris Webber. So again, would have liked to get a few more of those. But I actually still do have like a handful of packs left, so maybe there's another insert or two in there. But yeah, thank you all for checking these out with me. I'll be doing another video soon for the Topps gallery that I open. So catch you guys next time.